three secrets are: one, believe that you can be a CXO. Secret number two, don't be the world's best kept secret. Secret number three, signal that you're ready to take on higher responsibility. I think all of us carry a responsibility to build the next generation. We've all had our time. I think there's nothing better than working with the next level of leadership so that they can give back and create a world and improve it so that it remains sustainable. And it's a great world that we give back to our children. Thank you. Hi, I'm Saksena. I'm a global leadership coach. I run my own organization. It's called CXO Hive, and we work across the world with leaders from Silicon Valley to the UK to Africa, Asia. This is a show where we help leaders like you who are ambitious, who want to get ahead, who want to move from the mid-career level to actually becoming senior leaders and becoming global CXOs. I'd like to spend the next 30 years shaping and giving back to society so that by the time we all leave this world, we've probably been net givers rather than net takers. I'm accepting this award for every transformed client of mine. When are you going to stop procrastinating and taking action? When are you going to learn what it takes to get that 1 CR salary plus and a great lifestyle and a great future for your children and your dreams of becoming a global CXO, a CTO, a CIO, a CISO, whatever you want to be? Stop procrastinating and sign up quickly for this Global CXO Accelerator Summit. It's the first time in India and it's the only event like this in India. You won't find it. So click on the link below. We have leaders like Sanjay Tandon, who's coming in from Silicon Valley. We have Kalyani, who's been a Chief Accounting Officer for Sun Microsystems and Intap. We have Arvind, who's been the President of Cisco, who's got a number of patents to his name. We have Sri Krishnan, who's the CEO. And he's got here to share his story with you. We've got Ram Kumar, who's the EVP for FIS for India and Philippines. All these people are here to share their stories to help you. So stop procrastinating and sign up. Stop sitting on the fence. Change your life. Take charge. I want to see you here on May 3rd and 4th. And when you buy a 2-day pass, you could win, benefits up to 89,000. So click below. Click quickly. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from whichever part of the world that you're logging in from. It's such a pleasure to have, Hemendra here, Major Hemendra. How are you, Hemendra, today?
Yeah, good morning, Mudit, and good morning, everyone. I'm very good and feeling very excited to have this formal communication with you all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Hemendra. It's just for the audience, right? Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Major Hemendra, as my title would suggest. I'm a army veteran. So I served in Indian Army for around 7 years, and after an injury, I decided to take a release. I did a transformation program from IIM Ahmedabad, which was 6 months on campus, and through that program, I got into the financial services. My first company was ICICI Prudential. I worked with Canara HSBC, Pramerica, Bharti AXA, now with HDFC. And I primarily look after the defense business. I'm heading it nationally. And so in my personal life, I'm married and I have two daughters. So that's about me.
Amazing, amazing story, Hemendra. Firstly, thank you so much to you and to everybody in the armed forces. I think all of us are very indebted to all of you, because we sleep well because you all look after our borders and, really. So a very, very big thank you from my community to you and to to the entire armed forces. And tell us, what you were telling me a little bit about that commando training that you were doing, right? Would you want to share that little story with everybody?
Yeah. So actually, commando training is part of the curriculum. So if officer gets commissioned into infantry, so there's a commando course which is 40 plus days, approximately 45 days, and which is scheduled in Belgaum. Many would have heard about Belgaum, which is very near to Bangalore in Karnataka. And if some of you would have seen the old Nana Patekar movie Prahar, so that was shot there. So when he crosses that bridge and it's written there that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Mushkil waqt commando sakt. So these are the few taglines of that place only, and it is called the cradle of infantry. So I was also scheduled to go for a training, but I went unprepared. The reason was we were in the thick and thin of counterinsurgency. The attack on Parliament was fresh that point of time, so which happened in 2001, 13 December 2001. And my commandos was after a grilling session in JNK, where I didn't get any time to prepare my this commando physical training. But although I did it, and it was few days before the course was supposed to end, and I was supposed to appear for various tests. So because of the heavy rains, few of the obstacles they got weak, and one obstacle just cracked, and the wood part just pierced through my knee. So that's how the injury was, and I think it took a different shape of my career. And post that, I went through surgery and everything. So post that, I realized this would not be suitable, that I would be able to continue in infantry as an injured officer. So I just thought it'll be great on my part if I can do something transformative. I can look at some opportunities in corporate. And that's how I decided to take a plunge in corporate through a transition program from IIM.
Amazing, Hemendra. Really, it's such a amazing story, right? And how things happen to everybody in life. For you, it was the injury. For somebody else, it could be something else. But what's really great to see is how you've transformed. From the infantry to come into the corporate world and really change your life. So I think it's a great story of character. and a great testament to your resilience to having come so far. And I really want to thank you, and thanks so much. It's a proud moment for me because you're also part of our community. So tell us a little bit, like, what made you join, and what was your experience?
Sure. So actually, up till now, I would say up till a year back, I never had an idea that it is essential to have a mentor in corporate. So a mentor which is different from your reporting hierarchy, your boss or your super boss, something like that. It is until I met a very senior lady who's a HR from American Express, based in Gurgaon only, and she asked me, "Do you have a mentor?" So I asked her, Ma'am, why don't you become one?" She said, "No, I'm too occupied and I don't have that kind of time." And she gave me a few names, and one was obviously Dr. Mudit's name. And this is the time when I actually just returned back from US after doing a 1 year PGPX program from the campus of UCLA Los Angeles. And this also because twice we have to go to their campus for a long duration, so 40 days of contact classes in all. So I actually wanted like this learning should not go waste, and I should be able to apply effectively, and obviously I should be able to achieve what I want to achieve in life without disturbing the current setup. So two important advices she gave me. One was having a mentor, and then don't disturb your family life much by pursuing only professional goals. So when I actually got in touch with Dr. Modit, he gave me a time. He heard me very patiently, and the best part was he never talked about any commercials, any fee or something. And then he asked me, "Be very comfortable, join our Blueprint program, which is a basic program. You need not to join advanced program right now, or you need not to commit anything for a longer duration," which was very magnanimous on his part, and I found him very humble and somebody who was very approachable also. So, for example, everybody want mentors like maybe Bill Gates or somebody like that, but they are not approachable and they don't know you that much, right? So he personally went into my profile, my personal life, my professional life, what is troubling me, and everything. And one line which I have repeated on several platforms. He told me that yes, you have done a lot of courses, gone through a lot of journey, but what needs to be changed is the change is you have to change as a person, which I think it requires some work there. And obviously, the and all those who would have taken his program, some things will look very small, like meditation, getting up early in the morning, kick-starting your routine. So these things do sound simple, or maybe writing an article on LinkedIn. And yes, there is a story to that. I was not very regular on that. These small changes, they make a lot of difference. And if you notice the world around, if you are readers yourself, the best-selling book, The Atomic Habits, it is nothing but the same which Dr. Mudit is teaching all of us. So yes, this is how I went through this journey.
Amazing, amazing, Hemendra, for your humility too, and thank you so much for your kind words. But I always believe the magic is in the room, which means you're the hero out of this, right? It's my students who are heroes. The more they do things and they get success, that's what keeps us all going, right? So tell us, I mean, we're just so happy to hear that you've now got into, and you're going to be getting the Global Crore Club Award for your new break. Why don't you tell everybody the story of how you got there?
So actually, I was very keen on having foreign assignments. So and this is how you get mature also by meeting a lot of people and mentors like Dr. Modir. And once I realized, no, I have to actually strike a right balance. So my daughter is in class 10th now. She's going to appear for boards, and obviously then her further career progression. So yes, it was very essential for me to not disturb the family. So I started looking for opportunities uh, in a domestic front in India only. And this is how I got one interview call, and which I casually, I would say that time I was not much interested, but I casually appeared. But it was a long process. So the way I thought it turned out to be easy, it was not that easy. Because I had few things, few of my demands where I wanted to grow financially, and obviously they had a certain structure in place. So I started telling them when I was actually when I stepped into the current business 3.5 years ago, in what shape it was and what kind of steps I took to actually scale up that business, and what I can do to your business, which has not been scaled up so much in last few years. And this is how convincing at different levels, convincing the HR, convincing the immediate hierarchy, the senior hierarchy, and things finally shaped up. It was actually a 3 months journey, and if I would remind Dr. Mudit, that was in the initial sessions only when I actually told you that the storytelling is working. So the art of storytelling, which you actually touched upon. So that time I would say touched upon because I was not expert of that. But yes, I used it, and the art of negotiating the right package, the right salary. So I think these were the two takeaways from our sessions, which actually worked, which clicked, and finally things worked out post 3 months. You are on mute, Dr. Mudita.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Hemendra. But we're just so proud of you, Hemendra, to have got to that level from where you were, and the hard work that you've done. I mean, it's amazing to see how, somebody who, didn't start off in a corporate world, right? That he actually got into the corporate world. You invested so much in your, learning. You went to the UCLA School of Business, Anderson School of Business, right? And you continue to do that. I believe there's another part of you where you're a certified financial planner. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that too?
Yeah. So a 4G landing up in financial services, that was good. But the thing was, I wanted to prove myself. Yes, I know this part. And obviously, I was handling defense business too. And in defense business, it is like both hunting and farming. So first we need to go and meet the key decision makers, and then only our team can meet the end users, the customers. So there is a lot of conviction which goes on. Why this product? Why not this? And obviously, they are conservative in their approach because they have very limited finances. So I thought to use my time during the COVID period when it was a total lockdown. So I took online classes. So this was first of its kind, because CFP classes, normally preparing for the CFP certification classes, they were normally in physical form. So so Harminder is the person and who started this initiative, and I was one of the people in the first batches during the lockdown times. So we took these classes, but again, the exams were not happening because for exams, you have to go on an exam center and appear there. It's an online exam, although, but not from home. So but once the COVID was over, and obviously it took 4 or 5 months of that thing, and finally I could achieve the certification. So this certification requires you to clear 6 modules. So you are expert of insurance planning, investment planning, real estate planning, then retirement planning. Obviously, the ethics part is also one module. And the CFP is Chartered Financial Analyst, governed by FPSB, which is Financial Planning Standards Board, and which is applicable in 21 countries, which includes UK and US also. So, so then I started writing because when Dr. Modet told us that it is good if you can project yourself on LinkedIn. When I started writing articles on LinkedIn related to my this like financial knowledge or giving my inputs about something which is happening in the scenario. So the CEO of FPSB India, Mr. Krishna Mishra, took notice of that. And recently I was called in one of the summits. So there is an annual summit, PSB India annual summit. So I went there and I was one of the panelists. And as luck would have it, the FPSB global CEO, Mr. Dante Gori, he was also part of that summit. So I could meet him. He was traveling all the way from US. So this is about my financial planning journey.
Oh, super! But there's so many leaders here on the show. Why don't you tell people like what should they be doing? Let's say for leaders between the age of 30 and 40, right? How should he be planning his finances? What should they be doing between 40 and 50? There are a lot of benchmarks. So let's hear it from an expert.
Yeah. So, actually, I'm sure many of us would be like, let's start from basic, would be using iPhone, right? So, I always used to, so I started using iPhone from last 2 to 3 years now. And that too related to some technological issues related to what the kind of mail server we use in office. And that was the only thing. So I thought it is fast on that. But the thing is, iPhone is made easy because it comes on EMI. Then every year there's upgrade and things like so. If we can start from basics and why we require, if we just have a basic phone which does our job, yeah. If we are too much into photography, yes, we can buy a phone which has got a good camera. So it starts from that step itself. And what you can do, like the kind of EMI you are giving for an iPhone, maybe 10,000 or so. So you can start doing SIPs from the early age. The earlier you start building your wealth, the better it gets multiplied. That's how the compounding effect comes into play. There are so I think this trend declining now, using of luxury cars or the bigger is better or something like that, and especially in cities like Bangalore and Mumbai, I've seen people don't care much that what kind of car I'm driving, or most of the people they are traveling by cabs thanks to the traffic in Mumbai and Bangalore, both the places. But in Delhi, it is still there. So I think it's a bad investment. It's not an investment at all. So, if you have a simple EV, I think it can do the job. So basically, it is to change our mindset and change our habits. So yes, nobody is asking you to compromise on the lifestyle. Yes, still you can live a good lifestyle, but saving early and starting early is the key. So, and I think mutual funds and doing SIPs and mutual funds is no-brainer. Anybody can go through money control or sites like that, India Infoline, and you can find out which fund has done better in last 3 years, and you can just simply start investing. So it is as simple as that.
Okay, amazing. See, there are a lot of benchmarks that people tell you, right, in financial planning. Let's say invest in equity, 100 minus your age, right? So if you're
Yeah.
30, 70% of your fund should be in equity. Any kind of things, what percentage do you think that you would tell everybody, to invest in as well as insurance and things like that? Because, just this a little bit to guide the leaders a little bit. I'm sure everybody's very financially savvy,
Yes,
but
sure. So, yeah, so what happens is if I'm meeting a mutual fund advisor, he'll guide me only about mutual funds. If I'm meeting somebody from the insurance industry, he'll guide me only about investing in insurance. So, this is how the world is in India. But yes, you should first meet a holistic financial planner. You should list down your life goals. So, life goals can be anything. Like if you are just newly married, then life goals is to plan for your child's education, the child which is not yet there. But yes, you can start planning now, or maybe you can start planning for your retirement because I'll tell you, in the recently have CFP summit, so somebody was speaking about the retirement planning, and people who were in their mid 20s or early 30s, they were looking here and there. Then the person on the podium said, "No, no, ये आपके लिए ही है. This is for you. You have to start planning now. It is not that when you are about to retire, you'll start planning about your retirement in your 50s or in your 60s. No, it doesn't happen that way. So the thing is, you have to take care of all the buckets. Yes, to have a proper risk cover is essential because what happens to my family if I'm not there tomorrow? So their finances should not get disturbed. Yeah, insurance is essential. Building wealth is essential without any major factors playing in because you are saying the market is behaving crazy because of the tariffs coming into play or any other geopolitical reason. 2 years back, it was because of the Russia-Ukraine war. So these kind of things will keep on happening. So SIPs are something which will keep on building your wealth. You need not to be crazy. Yes, you can have a equity exposure also if you actually are left with some kind of disposable income once you are invested in your risk planning. So risk planning is basically life insurance and health insurance. And secondly, your normal savings through SIP. If you are still left with somebody, then you can some money you can still put it in equity, and that too in blue chip funds, the funds which have been historically doing well and which are well known funds. So you can plan like that. So I think you should keep your wealth diversified, and obviously in all kind of money instruments. So that is what
Super.
matters. Yeah.
I'll tell everybody else who needs help on financial planning to reach out to you.
Sure,
But
sure.
let's move on to more your corporate career and the kind of shifts. So tell me, what are the biggest mindset shifts you had to make when moving out of the military environment to a corporate life, right?
Right. So, the biggest mindset is military is a very, very disciplined organization. So, there are tough rules which are followed, and order is a command. So, once the order is passed, it has to be followed. So, it was as strict as that. So, I think this was the biggest shift. Here, the team they needs to be convinced, because teams come from variety, so various diversity. So there are people from various economic backgrounds, there are people from various geographies, and obviously in army I was mostly dealing with the male gender. So obviously the women folks were not existing there. So what is more required here is you have to work as a team. It is not like a commander and followers, or a leader and followers. So it is more like a cohesive team. So yes, one similarity which I'll say, in army or in armed forces, nobody or no leader will ask you to do something which he is himself not willing to do. So whether it is related to ethics or whether it is related to the risk involved. So here also it applies equally, and obviously we should be sensitive about doing those things. So we don't ask our team to do which we are not very keen to do or we are not interested in. So one was that mind shift. Yes, it is not I'll pass a command and people will follow. No, I have to get involved and get things done. So this was a major shift. The other things were discipline, in how to inculcate that kind of discipline. So that has to be done through a daily ritual. So your early morning ritual, that matters the most. How you start your day, how you involve the team in that ritual, and obviously how you end your day. So drawing parallels from the defense forces, briefing before a operation and debriefing after a operation. It is very, very essential. So in corporate terms, how you are starting your day. So getting people aligned once you start your day, and obviously, once you end your day, then you debrief people what happened well, what could not go well, and how we can make things good.
Okay, superb, superb, excellent. Excellent sort of tips for people to take away. But tell me, how has your military training, influenced your leadership style in the corporate sector?
Yeah. So in military also there are several styles of leadership. So you can be commanding leadership, you can be a servant leadership, so you can be anything. So I follow servant leadership, I would say, because like as I told you, we were in thick and thin of counterinsurgency in J&K. So my first and foremost responsibility was my troops should remain safe. So there should not be any casualty or any fatal casualty to the troops. Obviously, we were in the risky environment. But the thing is, we have to practice those drills which actually makes us safe and does not expose us that much. So one was that, and like I proudly say that I brought everyone home. So I was a company commander. I was commanding around 100 troops. Everybody came home, came back home. Although we had certain injuries and all that, but there was no fatal casualty. I thank God for that. So, drawing parallels from there, I would say servant leadership is the best for me. whatever you want your team to do, you first demonstrate. So demonstrate that, get involved in that, and keep coaching them, keep giving them inputs, and don't micromanage. I don't believe in micromanaging things and viewing things very, very closely. I want to give them that liberty of doing things, failing, learning from it. So that ways, I follow the servant leadership.
Amazing, amazing, right? And you brought out such an important point that you've got to show the team that you can do it yourself, right? And
Exactly.
of course, looking after everybody. I think the corporate world could do a lot better with it with just looking after their own teams. In the sense that what's the difference, right? In the army, there are no bonuses, and people still are willing to give their life for the country, right? And in the corporate world, like you can see, right, it's very driven by financial incentives. So, what do you see is the real difference, between the behavior and why people there behave differently and why they behave here the way they do?
That's a very, very appropriate question. And I would tell you something which is called regimentation. So, regimentation is something which is keeping the Indian Army very, very strong. If you see the names of the regiments of the units, battalions in US Army, UK Army, they call it number three unit, number four unit, or something like that. Whereas the first line of fighting force in India, which is infantry, they are called as Rajputana Rifles, the Sikh Regiment, the Maha Regiment, the Maratha Light Infantry, something like that. But how did it happen? Because these were the forces of old Rajas, Maharajas, and their names and that ethnicity, they were that was kept intact, and that was kept intact by the Britishers also. So there were few regiments which were sent in World War abroad. So like Marathas, Sikhs, Punjab, Rajputs, so they were sent abroad, and they knew they'll not fight for them. So the Indians, they'll not fight for Britishers, but they will definitely fight for somebody where in army we call Naam, Namak and Nishan. So for our name, the for our ancestral blood, we'll fight for that. So I think that's a very, very I'll say enriched DNA in Indian Army, which is actually working very fine. If you see the example of modern war, which was the Kargil war, which happened in 1999, so there were no air support in the beginning for almost 1.5 months. There was no artillery support. Yet our Jawan fought at very, very inhospitable terrain. So in sub-zero temperatures and in super high altitude. It was that sheer grit. And because they don't want their name to get spoiled, they don't want anybody to talk in their town or village that this guy could not fight. This guy is a pagoda or something like that. He has run away. So I think one key takeaway from here is like in my society also, I represent my company or the place of work where I am. So everybody look forward to. So if I'm in HDFC, my society people or my neighbors, they know it. I am from HDFC. But if I take care of like whatever behavior I'm doing and the way I'm actually talking to people about their finances or something like that. So I'm actually doing justice to my organization, the brand name, because people look up to me. Okay, this guy is from HDFC. This guy would guide us in this. So am I able to do it? So this is the justification I'm doing. How we can replicate there. So the brands which we are working for, so every brand has got their own values and vision. So are we actually honoring that values and vision? If we are honoring those values and vision, and obviously, so we are no less than people in army.
Amazing, amazing. So you talked about culture, you talked about identification and glory, right? For a larger purpose. I think the mission perhaps is more important. And I think that's why companies also try and build some kind of a culture which is
Correct.
important for them, right? So Hemendra, for this at this point in time, let's just take a short commercial break and we'll be back again. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Hi, have you heard of the Global CXO Accelerator Summit that's happening right here in Bengaluru on May 3rd and May 4th? What? You haven't? It's a 7-day summit, 5 days of learning online, 2 days of learning live from the world's best. We have leaders coming in from Silicon Valley, Sanjay Chandan, who's been the Global Director of Applied Materials Corporation, Kalyani, who's been the Chief Accounting Officer for Sun Microsystems. We have Sri Krishnan, who's the CEO here of Karnataka Bank and, earlier with Yes Bank. We have Ram Kumar, who's an EVP and who's been here with FIS, and he heads the India and Philippines operations. We have Pradipto, we have Arvind Sitaraman, who's been the president of Cisco earlier. Come and learn from the world's best, because they will tell you about the mistakes you made. They will tell you about what helped them succeed. Learn from leaders who've done it. Stop wasting your time, aimlessly wandering around social media from WhatsApp University. Learn from the world's best. So click on the link below. It's May 3rd and 4th. See you there. Book your early bird tickets. And when you book a 2-day pass, you could win benefits up to 89,000. See you in Bengaluru. Okay, as we come back to the thing, I just encourage everybody. There's a special price, if you're watching this podcast. So please go ahead and click on that link below and get your ticket. So as we move on to the second part of our, podcast with Major Hemendra Singh, just tell us, you've led a lot of large and diverse teams across geographies, right? What's your approach to building, high performance teams?
So I would say empathy is a key word, because you can teach anybody the job, right? So, but connecting with the team is more important. I'll again give you an example from my army days. So I was a company commander. There were around 90 to 100 men. So most of the company commanders, all I'll say, in my time, most of the company commander, they used to remember their birthdays. So the Jawans you are commanding, their birthdays you used to remember, and every morning you'll call up that guy. If he's on a far-flung post also, you'll call through a radio set and you'll say, okay, Havaldar, Bajram, happy birthday and all that. And I wish you from your family side, and I'll send something special for you from the cookhouse. So the cookhouse will make a kheer or something and send to him. So this is how it was a way to connect. And obviously this way the Jawans carry that memory for a long time, and there's a different connect with the leader. So empathy is one thing. Second thing is, are we training the team right? So investing in teams training is the greatest investment, and many a times it doesn't happen. And I was just seeing Reliance annual meet, and where Professor Ramcharan makes a remark. I'm sure many of the top executives sitting here will not know how to read the annual report. And he was not wrong in saying that, because this I have practically seen, because we many a times miss out on a lot of things, like maybe reading a financial report because I'm a salesperson or a marketing person, or I'm a simple tech guys. So, but we should be concerned about reading those reports also. So the second thing is very important is training, and third I would say discipline. So obviously there have to be a discipline and mutual respect both ways. I think if these three things are taken care of, we can have fantastic teams around.
Superb, superb. So I think that's some lessons, key lessons from the army, right? In terms of taking care of your people, and they give back to you, right? Which, so great. You've also talked about these large scale operations that you've led, right? How do you think mid-career leaders could benefit? Any learnings from there?
Sure. I would say I was changing a job from Delhi to Mumbai. So when I took up a position with Canara HSBC, so it's a JV company between Canara Bank and HSBC Bank, and I was into corporate sales. So my job was to meet various stakeholders like HR head, CFO or CEO, and for their retirement funds. So the first thing my boss told was we have a lot of PSU accounts by virtue of Canara Bank being a majority stakeholders because they provide us the leads. But we don't have a account which is MNC, multinational, or a private account. So when I say account means a corporate investing with us. So what I did, I did a lot of study. So first I actually went around the market, who's located where, and made some rapport with the key decision makers. And then I asked them where they are investing currently. Most of them they were investing with LIC. And why LIC? Because they found LIC is safe if they are not able to give them good returns. But safety is the thing. So the capital will not appreciate if the fund will not generate more returns. So actually, I made an analysis. If they would have invested with us, vis-a-vis they are invested with LIC. If say for last 5 years they would have invested with us, what kind of returns our fund would have generated for them, and what kind of returns LIC would have given, because that was already there in black and white. And this is the way I convince a lot of stakeholders to switch their funds from LIC to us. So I think that was a big win for us. It was celebrated, and everybody in a HO kind of celebrated. And the big accounts which I bought on board was JSW Steel, Crompton and Greaves, Bombay Dyeing. So these were the key first private accounts which I brought on board. So I would say there, if you actually try, there are ways to get things done, and the big wins happen if you actually act logically. If I had not done initial research, met people, got to know their minds, why they are investing with a particular partner, and why they are hesitating in investing with us. So if I would not have known these questions, I would not have gone back with the answers.
Super, super. So you talked about really, doing your homework, looking, learning, making sure that you have all the information. And then I think that's a great learning there. And tell me if, just looking back on your journey, right, from the army to now in the corporate world, right? So I see you invested a lot of time in your education too. Why don't you tell us a little bit what prompted you to, do that, and how has it helped you?
So, again, getting back to army, so you guys would have noticed like we keep on changing our arms, ammunition, equipment, even the aircrafts. And you would have heard about the recent crashes, and everybody is saying, okay, the equipment has gone obsolete, the aircrafts have gone obsolete. Why are we not changing it? Yes, obviously, the change and upgradation, it is part of the life. And I always believe in lifelong learning. Right. So things are changing so fast, so rapidly. Couple of years back, when I was in Mumbai for this assignment only, Canada HSBC, I attended a summit where one of the speakers was founder of Retd. So he asked us. So that time, this Bandra Kurla Sea Link was newly commissioned. So he asked, is this a good investment or a bad investment? Because the kind of money which is spent here would have actually opened the equal amount of government schools in Maharashtra what is currently existing. So I think the better investment would have been in education rather than this. So we all agreed, no, it is not a good investment right now, because people have adjusted to the traffic, and there are hardly people. That time they were taking the ceiling because the tolls were high. So why I'm giving this example? Because if we don't change with time, if we don't upgrade ourselves with time, then then we would be left alone. We'll be forgotten. Will not be given chances to move ahead. For example, AI and machine learning. So it's is the buzzword as of now. So we need to upgrade in this. Because everything will get integrated with this, and everything we are seeing is getting integrated also. So there were times because when actually learning MS Office was also difficult for many of us. I would talk about the people who are in 40s. they would have sometime migrated to this aspect of working also. And for me, it was a change coming from defense to corporate, because in defense everything happens on files, paper files. So now they have changed, and then suddenly migrating to everything on MS Outlook or things like that. So I think lifelong learning should be the key, and we should also keep on upgrading ourselves, not only for our careers but for our own betterment also as a person.
Superb, superb, Hemendra. You've gone through, really pivoted your life and your career, right? How, whatever circumstances that might have happened, right? So when you look back now on your career, what do you think is the one thing you could have done differently?
Yeah, that's again a very touchy question, and I think relevant question also. So I think if I have gone for having a mentor few years back in my life, my career trajectory would have been different. So I think it is very, very essential to have a mentor after a particular time in corporate. Maybe I would recommend if you spend 7, 8 years in corporate, you should start having mentors, because that's where your future shapes up. That's where actually you are looked upon for next roles. That's where the foundation for the CXO roles will set in. So I would say I would, if given a chance, I would like to push back this aspect of mine, having a mentor early in life who could have actually told me or guided me how to go forward. But nevertheless, I have you as a mentor now, and I'm sure I'll be able to fulfill my unfulfilled aspirations.
No, no, definitely. You achieved so much, Hemendra. Very kind of you to say all that. But, it's really amazing to see. It's see, people even in the corporate world haven't got, to where you are. And you sort of come from outside, you maybe 8, 10 years much later than them, and you really, managed to up your game. You've invested not only in your education and your skills, you've also updated in coaching and, got yourself a mentor. But it's really a commendable, very, very commendable journey. So what really, I mean, do you have a mindset? I mean, what's the mindset that you have, that keeps you going?
I think now the mindset is giving back to society. And when I say society, it is first armed forces for me, and that's the vertical where I am in, because we are working for them. Uh, I have done CFP. I want to actually educate them financially, because most of the things which are disturbing their life personally are not managing their finances well. So giving back to the fraternity first, then giving back to the society in terms of educating them financially, and obviously giving mentorship to those needy who requires it, who doesn't have it accessible. So talking about my struggles and coaching them from my struggles, guiding them in right direction. So what all they should be doing to shaping up their careers. Maybe talking to the young students who are about to step into this corporate world. So this is what I'm thinking about, and yes, most of it I'm doing also.
Superb, superb, yeah. But tell me, I mean, how do you stay motivated, and continuously evolve, right? What's really, anything from your life or anything that you keep doing that keeps you
Yeah.
going? Yeah.
So in my childhood, actually, there was a poem which touched upon my heart, and that was from our famous Hindi teacher Upadhyay ma'am. So she explained this poem: सात कूलों के चले ढाल आते ही ढले वो जिंदगी भी क्या जिंदगी जो पानी सी बही. So, to actually explain it, it is about keep when water flows, it flows in the direction where it finds the slope. So life should not be like water. Yes, it should be calm like water, but it should not be flowing like water. Wherever you are getting a slope, you are flowing. So you should make your own direction. You should have your own priorities. You should have your own goals, and obviously you should work in that direction. So this is what keeps on motivating me. And I never feel satisfied with myself. I never feel okay, I've done this and this is the end of the road. No, As I told you, after UCLA, I'm now upgrading myself in AI and machine learning. And I'm doing a program from VIT, Vellore Institute of Technology. And obviously, I want to apply technology because I feel this technology is going to change the world like never. And and I believe that AI will not replace human beings, but AI will definitely replace a human being who doesn't know AI. So this is what I mean, and obviously my friends who are already techies, they have advantage in this, and but a non-techo like me would need to catch up, and I'm doing that.
Superb, superb. So let's turn it around a little bit. What financial advice would you give the techies? Coming back, that's
Yeah,
your
so when
right. So, what should they know? Let's say if you were to put it right, financial planning for non-financial people.
Yeah, so I would say spend some time, write down your life goals. So what are your life goals means the goals which are driven by your finances. So write down that and make four quadrants. So one quadrant can be for your risk, what kind of risk you want to cover. Other quadrant can be of growth. So what kind of immediate growth you would require in your capital, maybe in another 10 years or so. And the third one is for your family. So, what financial planning you want to do for your family? Family means for your kids, their future, your house, things like that. And in the fourth quadrant is your own retirement planning. So, I would say you plan your finances in these four quadrants, and things will be simple. And be very, very mindful of the money you are spending, so think twice, you really require that thing or not. And if the second answer is you don't require it, just put the money into SIP. That's the best thing to do.
Okay, great. So here's a good exchange. You've got a few finance tips for the techies, that I'm sure they will reach out and help you out with AI and machine learning, right? So great. Tell me, the amount of time that you spent on your education, right, at Ahmedabad, Ahmedabad, and UCLA, Anderson School, right? How do you think it's really shaped your business acumen and strategic thinking?
So I'll tell you about my days in IIM Ahmedabad. So I was a novice, so no idea of corporate, how it functions, no idea of any hierarchy. So the good thing about IIM Ahmedabad is they don't teach you through books. They will give you books, but that is for self-study. In class, they'll just give you case studies. You have to work on a case. So you are divided into a small groups, and those small groups are based on a diversity. So in my group, I would have a person from technical background. I would have a person who's from a pure administrative background. I would have somebody who's from an art background, an engineer, so something like that. So there are different folks for different work. And this is how you used to discuss the case study till 2 o'clock in the night, make a presentation over that, and next day present it in the class. Right. So the initial presentations, they were more theoretical in nature. So one day, our professor told us, so he was Professor Barua. I don't know if anybody of you would know him, and he later became the director of IIM Ahmedabad also. So he told ki if there are no numbers in your discussions, so then it doesn't mean any sense in a business school. And this is our first lesson. That's how then we used to comprehend things through numbers and data. So earlier it was pure theory, and then we learned through those case studies how important it is. And one more learning from IM days, they say these case studies, things doesn't happen the way things are there in case studies. It has already happened. So you would not get a similar situation in business, and you would replicate a solution, whatever solution you have found here. So the problems will come in various forms, but these problems will give you a acumen to fight and bring out solutions, right? How you will bring out solution, how will you approach the problem. So yes, the this is the second lesson I learned, there would be no problems of a similar nature. No two problems of a similar nature. Problem will strike you differently. And about my UCLA days, so we had batchmates from 14 different nations. So it was a complete global exposure. So right from taking the flight, because for me it was a first exposure to US, taking that 21-hour flight to LA, it was a case study in itself. So how would I spend so much of time without moving outside? Because I am some person who don't remain on my office chair for a time. I always move out for a cup of coffee or something like that. So that was the learning started from there itself. So I would say the global exposure, the quality of teaching which comes from, and to my surprise, most of our professors, they were from Indian origin. So we as Indians, we as Indians, we are doing so fantastic work outside India, and I think we should give back to our society. So, I'll give an example of Professor Ramcharan. Similar name, he was professor of operations there, from Chennai. Otherwise, he did his BTech in this place, Pilani, BITS Pilani, and later he moved for his PhD to MIT and places like that. So he asked me a question: how's the standard of maths in India right now? So I told him, that nothing much has changed. So the same grade, and people learn through tables and this that. So hope calculators are not allowed. I said no sir, it's not allowed. Our system is very robust. If I would have been doing this operation classes for students of American origin, I have to take a separate class of mathematics to explain them calculus and probability. So that way is our system is very robust. So I would say we have got few advantages also. So we go through a robust system. We come from very conservative families. We go through a disciplined way of life. I think that should remain. And hats off to Dr. Modet. This is what you also teaches us in your classes and in your modules, whatever module you are doing, whether you are doing an advanced module or you are doing a beginner's module. So I think this is what matters, following a ritual.
Okay, superb. Let's just take a little break and then we come back again. Yeah.
Sure.
Hi. Do you want to know how leaders who were born, bred in India have made it finally globally on that stage? Do you want to learn the secrets that might have helped Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella really get up right there to becoming global heads of organizations? If you want to learn all that, then you better learn from global leaders. We have Sanjay Tandon coming in from Silicon Valley. We have Kalyani, who's been the Chief Accounting Officer for Sun Microsystems. We have Sri Krishnan, who's the CEO here in Karnataka Bank. We have Ram Kumar, who's been here as the head of FIS for India and Philippines. We have so many leaders right here who will share their stories, give you tips. So you need to sign up quickly for May 3rd and May 4th, which is the Global CXO Accelerator Summit. And it's happening right here in Bengaluru. So wherever you are, whichever city, book your tickets and see you here, because we're going to have a 7-day event, 5 days online and 2 days live. And when you book your 2-day pass, you could win gifts up to 89,000. So click on the link below and I'll see you there. Okay, great to have you guys all back here again. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you who are watching this in Bangalore on May 3rd and 4th, where we have, like I shared, the world's best coming, and even Hemendra and a lot of students of ours are going to be winning great awards. So come meet with them. I would really encourage all leaders here, to come and learn, to network with other leaders, so that you can actually learn a lot. So looking forward to a lot of you. And as we come to the last section, of our podcast today, Hemendra, just looking back, right? If you were, what advice would you give, right, to a lot of mid-career leaders who are at maybe, let's say 30, 40 lakhs a year? right? And now you've reached the 1 CR mark, right? What advice would you give them, to sort of get ahead in their careers and reach this kind of financial milestone?
I think before I straight away jump to the answer, I'll give you one anecdote just recently happened. So I got a request on LinkedIn. So this guy also happens to be from UCLA background, done the similar program. So he asked for my phone number, and when I speak to him, he says, I have also done a similar program, but it was 2 years prior to your batch. Okay, how can I help you? He says, I stay in Kolkata. I'm a taco. So, by the way, he was a taco and well qualified guy and comes from a elite background, modern school, Barakhamba. So, things like that. And he's sitting at home for last 1.5 years and he's saying, I'm trying to find a right job. So, I got into a job with Birla. I didn't like the culture. I left in few months and things like that. So, I told him, like, sitting at home is actually not working for you. You are rusting yourself. If you are not sharpening your saw, you are rusting yourself. Had you been with Birla or wherever you were, in whatever culture you were, if you would have been fighting it out, and at the same time, if it was too difficult for you, you could have switched within the same company in the same vertical, in any other vertical, or living in the remaining in the same company, exploring other organizations as well. That was the best way to do. So I would say, what I want to bring out from this is, many a times we lose patience for whatever reason it is, whether it is a toxic environment or a boss with whom we are not able to gel up, or maybe I'm waiting for a promotion or a hike which I'm not getting. So we have to actually step back and look what is not working for us. So I'll tell you a jargon which I came across 1 year back, not too long, and that too from Dr. Modir. Executive presence. I was never aware about this thing. There is something like executive presence where you have to actually highlight yourself. You have to invest in yourself as a brand. So I think taking clue from that, the first thing is you have to invest in yourself in making you as a brand. So that investment can be in upgrading your skills. That investment can be highlighting your work or approaching the senior management in a smooth manner where they notice your work. And yes, be very, very patient because patience works. If we take decisions in a haphazard manner, they'll not work right for us. So, three things which I'll list down from here is invest in yourself, have patience, and make yourself visible in the organization.
Superb, superb. So three things I'm sure hopefully they'll take away. And we're going to be actually, before our conference and event on May 3rd and 4th, I'm actually doing another 5-day online program, which is part of the conference where we'll touch a lot about all these things. So, I'd really encourage all of you who are watching here to sign up and come and learn some of the things that Hemendra has been talking about, and it'll be a real pleasure to serve all of you. Right. So, Hemendra, let's just look ahead now. You've reached a certain level. How young are you? You're
I'm 45 now.
amazing, amazing. So you have a good 15-year runway, even in the Indian corporate. So it's a good equation, earn, be 45 years and earn 1 CR plus, right? So the moral is your salary should be twice your age, right? So well done for that. But what next? What other things are you planning to do, in your life?
Sure. So obviously, for some time, I would stay in India only, but obviously, I would like to have a global exposure. I would pursue opportunities around the globe. Secondly, is I'm working on a book on financial planning for it is for defense forces to start with. Maybe I can start writing for the young generation, the Gen Zs and the techos or people who should actually know it. So the first book is definitely for the armed forces. And thirdly, obviously, in another 5 years, I would like to see myself in a CXO role where I'm adding a great value to organization, where I would have made a name for myself, where I can make you proud of being my mentor. So these are my short-term vision or plan of what you can say as of now.
No, no, absolutely, Hemendra. We have full faith. The community has full faith in you, and nothing will make us more proud. CXO or not, I'm sure you're doing a lot of great things. And what I really find commendable is coming from the armed forces, where you didn't have any corporate background, to coming in to investing in your learning, right? And even learning financial planning. And today, now you're planning to, the things that you said, that you need to be an ambassador, right? You need to have that education, you need to have that discipline. I mean, these are the kind of things, because I mean, my personal advice to everybody is, yes, people do join me to get on that 1 CR journey, but I've always believed that just become 1% better than what you were yesterday. And that's what's really going to help, because after a point in time, most of the other leaders that I sort of get onto the show, one of the things they say is, look, hard work is a prerequisite, but different people get different results. So I guess we should all enjoy the journey. And to me, frankly, the journey is more important. I'll tell you why. Because it's who you become in that transformation journey. So I would really wish you and everybody on this show a lot of good success. Some last words from you. What are your, let's say, the three things that you would like to share with everybody on this career journey? What should they be doing?
Firstly, no setback is a setback in itself. So any setback is a stepping stone, and that's what I have made out of it. Whether it is a transformation after my defense journey, so the injury which propelled me to make a career in corporate. So in COVID times, when the lockdown was there, I myself was infected with COVID. I thought to finish my CFP certification preparation uh, when I was really struggling how to go about going to the next level. So I thought to have a global exposure, went for a 1 year program from a foreign university. And when many of us in my age bracket, they are just looking at settling down in life and just they are happy the way their kids are doing, they are doing good in their studies and they'll now settle down their career. So they have kind of settled in life. So the thing is, please keep walking, never stop. So first thing was no setback is a setback. Second thing is keep walking, don't stop. Don't stop. And I take inspiration from Dr. Modet. So when I don't know like why is he doing it, but I think
Yes,
he
sir.
gets a real inspiration for whatever he's doing, a real motivation from all of us, like coaching all of us. So, and then third is find your niche. So, whatever is your niche, you find your niche, whether you are a good in technology, you are good in sales, you are good in communicating with people, find your niche because that niche will take you longer. So, that niche will help you in life. And that's where you would draw your inspiration to start your day. So that's it from Dr. Modit. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Hemendra. Let's open it up. If there are any questions anybody has, if you can put it in the chat box, let me try and pick it up from there. Just put any questions that you may have for our esteemed guest today. Rishika, I see your hand up. You want to ask something or? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me try and,
Hi, sir.
yeah, go ahead, Rishika.
Namaste, namaste, namaste. Yes, sir.
You want to ask a question to,
Sir, sir मेरे को व्हाट्सएप सेल्स क्या होता है, सेल्स में क्या करना चाहिए और सेल्स में क्या करते हैं?
Can I know, Rishika, what are you doing currently? Are you in job or you are a student?
Student.
Student, what are you studying?
I'm in college.
Sorry, couldn't hear you.
I'm in college.
You are in college. What are you studying in college? Like which field, which degree?
May3.
Okay. So, I think you are too young to know that, but that sales is all about passion. So if you follow your passion and if you know how to communicate value to the customer and if you know how to communicate the product to the customer, this is all about sales. Sales is just normal interaction.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you, Rishika. Anybody else wants to ask
No, sir.
question?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So Mahesh is asking, how would you correlate defending the cyber attacks by providing security and governments, etc.? What's your views? So it's just from
Sorry, I'm not yet an expert of cyber security, so I would not able to answer that.
okay. Yeah. Santosh, you want to ask, unmute, or you want to put it in the chat box?
Yes, I want to ask. Hi, Hemendra. Good afternoon.
Hello. Hello. Good
Uh,
afternoon.
Now I'm lead to the team. Okay, so I recently joined 3-4 days back. I joined Accenture as a lead. I want to know how to build the leadership skills. I'm lead,
Okay.
and now I'm going to lead the team. Previously, also
Okay.
I'm leading the team, but I want to learn more from you. If you have any tips from your end.
Sure. And what kind of team you are handling? Like how many people are reporting to you?
As of now, the task is the role is not assigned yet. I'm still, recently joined. 7th
Oh,
April I joined.
anyways, any idea how many people will be reporting to you? Just a
Uh,
ballpark figure.
Actually, 55 people are there, but and shift leads also there. Maybe I'm
Okay.
above that. Maybe I'm lead to the shift leads, but my roles is not yet decided. I'm still looking the environment. So
Sure.
I want to know
So
the
I would assume that roughly 50 odd people would be in your project.
yeah,
So the project which you would be leading, right? So
yes.
firstly, I think there should be some hierarchy in the system because
Okay.
all these 50 people should not bounce upon you or they are disturbing you for odd tasks because hierarchy is what I'm saying, like who is contacting whom for what kind of work, right? So we
Okay.
have a matrix, right? So we have a matrix. So I think it would be essential that you follow that matrix. It would be essential that yes, once in a while, maybe twice in a month, you are addressing everybody collectively. Obviously, there would be meetings related to project. You would be connecting with people. Yes, you can leave them open. If somebody is having some other issues which they are not comfortable to communicate to their immediate manager, they can always come back to you. So this way, what would happen? The managers who are actually governing them, their own albums, they'll not feel left out. Secondly, you would not be micromanaging people because that is also not good. You would also maintain that hierarchy. You will also maintain that position, and obviously be nice to people. Don't be ruthless to people. So these are some basic things I would like to say.
So that means good rapport with all the team members, like
Yeah, so
people management.
repo in a professional manner. So
Yeah.
repo doesn't mean you just go all out, forget your work, but till the time it is good professionally and it is healthy professionally, be there.
Okay. So we should give free hand to work, right?
But it should be in the dimensions of organization, whatever organizations have prescribed. So free
Within.
hand doesn't mean complete freedom.
So that means within the limit.
Yeah, so you have to set those limits. You have to set
Mm.
those foundations.
Okay.
You can't ask people do whatever you want, but I want this project to be done, right? So
Yeah.
you have to draw those boundaries. So that is essential.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's move on to some other people
Thank you.
now. Thanks a lot. Right. Okay. So there's a question in the chat, and Sachin is asking, What drove you towards financial services as a career? And, how did you know this was the right thing for you?
Yeah, actually, speaking, I never knew it was the right thing for me. I have two, three options because by the time I landed in corporate, it was 2008, the recession of 2008. So I had options to go in logistics. I had option to go to security and admin, which most of the Fauji's do. But I was very, very clear. I want to go to a role which grows me up in my career, which elevates me in my career, and where in corporate. So I found sales is that role. So I was getting that sales profile in financial services. So that's how I shortlisted this role. And thereafter, rest is history. I developed myself in the financial world.
Okay. So learning as well as investment in yourself, right?
Yeah.
Suman, you want to let me just unmute yourself maybe and ask?
Yeah. Thank you, Modi. My question was how to handle difficult team members. You kept on telling not to do micromanagement, but always team has to grow. You have to coach them, and you will grow indirectly. So, how to handle the non-performers or people whom you trust, but they keep on failing? How to handle them?
Right. So I'll tell you anecdote from Field Marshal Manik Shaw. There was a movie also, Sam Manik Shaw. So from his book. So once what happened, he did not grant a leave to a Sikh gentleman. He was that time in the Sikh regiment, and he went for a party in officers' mess, and he was supposed to fall back to his company location. Company location is a post away from a battalion headquarters. And that Sikh gentleman to whom he didn't grant the leave, he was shouting whole day, okay, let Sahab come, I'll shoot him. Right, I'll shoot him. He has not given me leave and all that without understanding the circumstances. So he got to know when he fall to his barrack. So Field Marshal Manik Shaw knows that this guy has been shouting all day and all that. So he asked the senior most person who's called CHM, Company Havaldar Major, कि CHM sent this guy as my sentry for tonight. ठीक है. So everybody was, yeah, this guy is himself shouting all over कि आज मैं साहब को गोली मार दूंगा, and he's asking the same guy to be sentry in front of his room where he'll be sleeping. So he made this guy stand with a rifle whole night, and this guy was guarding him throughout the night. And the next day morning, he explains the reason why he was not granted leave, and he can go subsequently. Then later, all officers they got together and asked him कि सर आपको डर नहीं लगा आपने सारी रात उसको सेंट्री ड्यूटी दिया कहता हाँ मुझे बहुत डर लगा but I wanted to set an example that I will not tolerate nonsense. I made him a sentry that okay if you wish to shoot you can shoot but you would be a sentry for night. So this was one of his lessons to handle difficult people, and maybe the guy also realized by morning whatever he was doing it was not right on his part to shouting around like this. So I would say yes, difficult people are those people who shape our thought process. So there are ways to actually deal with them. And yes, in corporate, people find a easy way out to make them exit. But obviously, if you keep doing that, your job will never be done. So I think you have to get a right thing done from the right person. So there are people for that.
Okay, thanks very much. I'll take the last question. Sunil, do you want to put your question in the chat or you want to unmute?
Yeah, I would like to unmute. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Hemendra.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I'm working as an individual contributor role from last 10 to 12 years. And total experience is 15 plus. And I know my weaknesses, like I'm very bad with networking. By this much experience, I would be at higher level. Now I'm working as general manager. I would be VP or something else. I'm higher. So how to deal with this kind of my weaknesses?
And can I know the nature of work, which industry, which domain you are working?
Mostly like I have worked with Accenture, WNS, that kind of industries. I mean, I have
So
to
you're
look
in
into the
consulting, developer, or
uh,
what kind of work?
I'm supporting operation to grow. Like if there are any issues, then I have to find out the gaps, and with the automation or any other techniques, I have to improve that processes. I mean, get the
And you have
efficiency or
been-
quality.
And you have been an individual contributor only all through these 10 years?
Yes, only with 10 years. Earlier, I mean, in the beginning of the career, I was working in operation also.
Sure. See, I'll tell you, I have worked with various domains in financial services. I have been into corporate sales. I have been into strategic alliances. I'm now into retail. So I think your organization would encourage IJPs, internal job posting. You kind of apply for IJP, which offers you a team role, and you can speak to your manager if you want to take a team role. So I think this is the internal arrangement which you have to do with your manager.
So I don't have much experience in operation, especially in operation. I am certified black belt and master black belt, Six Sigma.
You figure out what kind of I'll say upskilling will take you there. So you upskill yourself there.
Okay.
So I think your manager will help you out. So I think upskilling is the key here. So you upskill yourself and apply for that kind of role.
Okay, sure. I mean, the first step is to talk to managers, right?
Obviously, take his feedback also.
Okay, sure.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We've really crossed, we thought we were going to be here for an hour. And I think with all the questions, etc. So I think we're going to come to an end. And thanks so much, Major Hemendra. And we're so proud of you. The entire community is really cheering for you. And I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of great news from you in the coming years, and really wish you all the very best. So stay connected, and I'm going to look forward to having you in Bangalore at our event where we'll be presenting the Global CXO Crore Club Award to you, along with others. So look forward to seeing you, and let's say goodbye for the time being. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Moden. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye.
When are you going to stop procrastinating and taking action? When are you going to learn what it takes to get that 1 CR salary plus and a great lifestyle and a great future for your children and your dreams of becoming a global CXO, a CTO, a CIO, a CISO, whatever you want to be? Stop procrastinating and sign up quickly for this Global CXO Accelerator Summit. It's the first time in India, and it's the only event like this in India. You won't find it. So click on the link below. We have leaders like Sanjay Tandon, who's coming in from Silicon Valley. We have Kalyani, who's been a Chief Accounting Officer for Sun Microsystems and Intap. We have Arvind, who's been the President of Cisco, who's got a number of patents to his name. We have Sri Krishnan, who's the CEO, and he's going here to share his story with you. We've got Ram Kumar, who's the EVP for FIS for India and Philippines. All these people are here to share their stories to help you. So stop procrastinating and sign up. Stop sitting on the fence. Change your life. Take charge. I want to see you here on May 3rd and 4th. And when you buy a 2-day pass, you could win, benefits up to 89,000. So click below. Click quickly. Hi, have you heard of the Global CXO Accelerator Summit that's happening right here in Bengaluru on May 3rd and May 4th? What? You haven't? It's a 7-day summit, 5 days of learning online, 2 days of learning live from the world's best. We have leaders coming in from Silicon Valley, Sanjay Tandon, who's been the Global Director of Applied Materials Corporation, Kalyani, who's been the Chief Accounting Officer for Sun Microsystems. We have Sri Krishnan, who's the CEO here of Karnataka Bank and, earlier with Yes Bank. We have Ram Kumar, who's an EVP and who's been here with FIS, and he heads the India and Philippines operations. We have Pradipto, we have Arvind Sitaraman, who's been the president of Cisco earlier. Come and learn from the world's best, because they will tell you about the mistakes you made. They will tell you about what helped them succeed. Learn from leaders who've done it. Stop wasting your time, aimlessly wandering around social media. From WhatsApp University, learn from the world's best. So click on the link below. It's May 3rd and 4th. See you there. Book your early bird tickets. And when you book a 2-day pass, you could win benefits up to 89,000. See you in Bengaluru. Hi. Do you want to know how leaders who were born, bred in India have made it finally globally on that stage? Do you want to learn the secrets that might have helped Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella really get up right there to becoming global heads of organizations? If you want to learn all that, then you better learn from global leaders. We have Sanjay Tandon coming in from Silicon Valley. We have Kalyani, who's been the Chief Accounting Officer for Sun Microsystems. We have Sri Krishnan, who's the CEO here in Karnataka Bank. We have Ram Kumar, who's been here as the head of FIS for India and Philippines. We have so many leaders right here who will share their stories, give you tips. So you need to sign up quickly for May 3rd and May 4th, which is the Global CXO Accelerator Summit. And it's happening right here in Bengaluru. So wherever you are, whichever city, book your tickets and see you here, because we're going to have a 7-day event. 5 days online and 2 days live. And when you book your 2-day pass, you could win gifts up to 89,000. So click on the link below and I'll see you there.